Number patterns. There are different kinds of number patterns. In this video, we are going to look at numeric number patterns. Now, on the screen, we have got a number pattern that says 6, 10, 14, 18, ... These numbers are the contents of containers. So in position number 1, we have 6. Term 2 is 10. Term 3 is 14. Term 4 is 18. The first thing that they are asking us is to state the rule in words. Now, what rule are they talking about? The question is, what must you do to go from term 1 to term 2? What do you do from term 2 to term 3 to term 4? Maybe you can see it immediately, but what we can see is it's plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. So if I was to answer question number 1, which says, or question A, state the rule in words, I would write, start with 6, and then add 4 continuously to get the next terms. Okay, that would be the rule in words. Where do I begin and how do I get to the next term? Start with 6, add 4, add 4, add 4. Question B says, what is the constant difference? Now we've answered that in the green text, but how do we calculate this? To get the constant difference, we normally just use the letter D to indicate difference. You are going to say term 2 minus term 1. That is 10 minus 6 gives you 4. Then you're going to say term 3 minus term 2. That's going to be 14 minus 4 gives you 4. Sorry, 14 minus 10. Then you're going to say term 4 minus term 3. That's going to be 18 minus 14 gives you 4. This amount here is positive 4 because you add 4 from one term to the other. Now, this step for B is how we check if you have a numeric sequence or a numeric number pattern. If these answers are always the same, then you have a numeric pattern. So what did we say? We took these two and we subtracted that way. 2 minus 1. Then we took these two and we said 3 minus 2. Then we took these two and we said 4 minus 3 in order to get the constant difference. Next question, C is asking me, write down the next 3 terms. Now this is easy, right? Because we know that we're adding 4. So what are we going to do for C? We're going to start with 18. So term 4 is 18, right? So to get term 5, I'm going to say 18 plus 4, which gives me 22. Term 6 is going to be 22 plus 4, which gives me 26. And then term 7 is going to be 26 plus 4, which gives me 30. Question D, what is the general rule? How do I get term N? Now this is where we're going to use the table. So in using the table, I need you to really understand how the table works so that you can do this properly. I'm going to stop the video, draw the table, and come back to you. Okay, so here's the table on the screen. In order to complete this table, I had to draw 5 rows going across. The first row refers to my terms, and this is where I'm going to put in term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, and eventually term N, the unknown term. At the bottom, I have what I call the result, and this result is referring to what is inside the term. So when we look at these numbers, this is what goes in the result column. I have terms which are my containers, and inside term 1 I have the number 6. Inside term 2 I have 10. Term 3 is 14. Term 4 is 18. Term n I don't know. I'm trying to answer that question. Now how do I go from the top, term 1, to 6 as an answer? My second row is telling me to do the difference, which is my green 4, and I'm going to multiply that with a number. So for all of these, I am going to say 4 times something, and that something is going to be my term here. So 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times n. So difference multiplied by the term. Now the last row that is blank is called the action row. This action row is a question that says, what action must I take to go from here? I must take an action to get to this. So if I say 4 times 1, that is equal to 4. 4 plus or minus what gives me 6? 4 plus 2. Next column, 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 plus or minus what gives me 10? 8 plus 2. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 gives me 14. And 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 2 gives me 18. Now I have completed my table with the terms that are known, the ones that they gave me. So I have got a pattern. I'm going to do my plus 2 on the last one as well. Now I can write the result for term n. Term n is equal to 4, let's do that, 4n plus 2. And that's my final answer. So in order for me to answer question number D, what is the general rule? I create a table and then I answer and I say for D the answer is term n is equal to 4n plus 2. Let's just review quickly. What did we do? We created the table. You fold in the first row and the last row, which is given from the question. Then you fold in the difference times the term, because you got the difference by saying term 2 minus term 1, term 3 minus term 2. You have to do it more than once. Twice is enough, just to make sure that the difference is the same. And then lastly, you calculated the action in order to get the result. You populated the table, and finally you get your result at the bottom right hand corner. Next question, calculate term 10. So now that we have this, we can now easily say for D, we're going to do E now. So E says term 10 is equal to 4 multiplied by 10, because this n is replaced with 10, plus 2. That gives me 40 plus 2. So term n is equal to 42. Next question. Calculate the 100th term. Question F. Term 100 is equal to 4 times 100 plus 2, which is 400, plus 2, which is 402. Now, the last question in this section is saying, which term is equal to 242? Now, they're saying term n is equal to 4n plus 2. 242 is equal to 4n plus 2. So I need to solve. I'm going to say minus 2 on both sides, because what I want to do is I want to get n alone. So 4n is equal to 240. Then I divide by 4 on both sides. And then I am going to say n is equal to 60. N is equal to 60. And that's my final answer. So term 60 is equal to 242. So, quick recap. You need to be able to give me the rule in words. You need to be able to give me the constant difference through a calculation by saying term 2 minus term 1, term 3 minus term 2. You have to do it twice because sometimes the answer is not the same, which means it's not a numeric pattern. Then you need to be able to give me the next 3 terms. You need to be able to give me the general rule. You need to give me a specific term. And you need to be able to tell me what is the n value if I give you the result. So this is video number 1, the full explanation on numeric sequences. I'm going to do a second video on that one. I'm going to go much faster, just as a second example. I hope this helped you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.